Okay, so let's just get right into it. AI is rewriting the rules of our world, and I mean, the pace of change is just incredible. It's totally natural to feel a mix of excitement and, yeah, a little bit of anxiety, and to wonder, where do I fit into all of this? So, what's the game plan? How do we actually thrive? Well, let's dive into Sam Altman's playbook.
This is the big one, right? This is the question at the heart of it all. Whether you're just starting your career or you're decades in, you're probably wondering how you're going to navigate this completely new landscape. Sam Altman was asked this exact question, and his answer? Well, it might just surprise you with its sheer optimism.
So instead of seeing this as some kind of threat, Altman sees an almost unbelievable opportunity. He really believes that with the tools we have today, a single driven person can pull off what used to take entire teams and massive, massive budgets. The canvas for what you can create has never been bigger. So where do we even start? First things first, we really need to get our heads around why this moment is so different. This isn't just another software update or a slightly faster computer. No, this is a fundamental leap in what computers can actually do, and more importantly, what they can do for you.
I mean, just stop and think about what this really means. Imagine having a polymath genius, an expert in any field you can dream up, on call 24/7, ready to help you build software, or draft a complex legal document, or brainstorm a whole marketing campaign. Altman says the jump from GPT-4 to what's coming is so significant that going back will feel, and I'm quoting him here, painful. This isn't just a tool, it's a true force multiplier for human ambition.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for your career? If you're, say, a 25-year-old in Mumbai or Bangalore, like the person who originally asked Altman this question was, what skills should you be focusing on right now?
He basically boils it down to these three things. Mastering the tools, that first one, that's the new learning to code. It's just table stakes now. Adaptability, well, that's the meta skill that keeps you in the game. But it's that third one that might just be the most crucial and, the most uniquely human.
Right. This classic piece of wisdom from Y Combinator's Paul Graham is more important than it has ever been. See, AI can build almost anything you ask it to, but it has absolutely no idea what you should build. That requires a deep, empathetic understanding of human problems and desires. The technology is the how, but figuring out the what and the why, that's still our job.
All right, so you've mastered the tools, you're adaptable, and you've got an idea of what people really want. Now, how do you turn that into a business that actually lasts? Something that isn't just a flash in the pan?
So Altman presents these two paths for entrepreneurs. You can build a thin wrapper, or you can build a durable business. Think about it like the early days of the iPhone. A thin wrapper is like one of those simple flashlight apps. It was a clever trick that got completely wiped out the second Apple built that feature directly into the operating system. A durable business, on the other hand, uses the iPhone as a platform to build something complex and lasting, like Uber. The key question you have to ask yourself is this: does my idea get better as the AI improves, or does it become obsolete?
And this right here is the key. This new AI technology gives you a massive, massive head start. But you have to use that head start to build something the AI can't just replicate on its own. A brand people trust, a loyal community, a unique network, deep customer relationships. AI is the starting line, not the finish line. The real question is, what are you going to build with your head start?
Now, let's zoom out. We've talked about individual careers and businesses, but what about the bigger picture? What about the entire global economy? Because if AI changes everything about work and creating value, you can bet it's going to change how we think about economics.
This is where even the experts are just scratching their heads. Traditional economics would tell us that a huge productivity boom should make everything cheaper, right? It should lead to deflation. But Altman himself admits he's deeply confused about this, which suggests the reality is going to be far, far stranger than any of our current models can predict.
Altman tells this fascinating story about asking a top economist whether interest rates in this new world should be -2% or +25%. And the expert's first reaction was to laugh at how absurd that range was. But then he stopped and he realized he genuinely didn't know the answer. That's how uncertain things are. We don't even know if capital is going to be nearly free or incredibly expensive.
So, with such fundamental economic shifts on the horizon, the way we support people is going to have to evolve. Altman predicts we'll see a wave of societal experimentation with huge ideas like universal basic income, where everyone gets a regular payment, or new kinds of sovereign wealth funds that invest on behalf of all citizens, maybe even giving people direct ownership of the AI compute power itself. The entire social contract is on the table.
Amidst all this talk of technology and economics, Altman consistently brings it all back to a more fundamental question. In a world of superintelligence, what does it truly mean to be human? What is our unique value?
Look, AI will undoubtedly be smarter than us in a lot of ways, especially on short, well-defined tasks. But we humans, we still hold an edge in long-term, complex problem-solving. Altman gives the example of proving a new mathematical theorem, what he calls a 1,000-hour problem that takes immense creativity and focus. That is still way beyond what AI can do. But our biggest advantage, it might have nothing to do with raw intelligence at all.
In a world that is just flooded with AI-generated content, authenticity becomes this rare, precious resource. Altman argues that at our core, people are obsessed with other people. We are drawn to real stories, real struggles, real triumphs. Your humanity, your unique perspective and experience, that's not a bug. It's your single most valuable feature.
And that really brings us to the final and most important question. As the tools become nearly infinite in their capability, the spotlight turns right back to us. It's no longer about what can be done, but what should be done. What stories are you going to tell? What problems will you solve with your unique insight? What connections will you forge that only a real person can? That's the challenge and the incredible opportunity of the world we're all building together.